Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire.
He has been the constant all season long, but over the last week, Nick Castellanos has elevated his play, hitting over 400. He and the Tigers try and continue their solid play and hope it's good enough to beat the division-leading Indians here in Cleveland. First of three against the Tribe on this weekend set, and only here on Fox Sports Detroit. Hi, everybody. Alongside my partner, two-time World Series champ, Kirk Gibson, I'm Matt Shepard. Detroit went 2-4 on the homestand against two playoff contenders, the Cardinals and the Astros. And even though they had a losing record, Gibby, they played very well. What left you encouraged?
Well, they did. You look at the sweep by Houston, and you might be disappointed, but St. Louis, they won two of the first three. And overall, they were in every single game. They played well. They played with energy. So overall, we're going into this series against Cleveland, where they are 0-7 here, with a good attitude about beating them.
All right, Matthew Boyd gives them a solid chance. He has elevated his play, much like Nick Castellanos has as well. How has he done it?
Well, I always talk about Matt and his development. Back in 2015, 2.7 home runs per nine, now down to 1.1 home runs per nine. You got to keep the ball in the ballpark. How does he do it? We talk about the slider all the time. Last game was no exception. It got better and better. 67 strikes, no hits, no walks, and 4 Ks on that slider. So he just keeps developing, and I keep talking about how he can get to both sides of the plate with that fastball and the slider. The slider becomes effective. All of a sudden they look and they sit on that. They want to stay off it. And then he throws the fastball and they're taking it. So hopefully he'll do that again against the Tribe tonight.
Or he takes dead aim at an Indians lineup that is decorated with a ton of talent, but also led by MVP candidate Jose Ramirez. What makes him one of the more complete players in the game, do you think?
Well, he just does it all. 5'9", 165 pounds. He looks a little bigger than that. But he's got a bunch of doubles, a bunch of home runs, and a bunch of stolen bases. He's the first 30-30-30 guy since Ryan Braun did it in 2012. He's been a stickler against the Tigers. Last year, 476, 9 home runs and 25 RBI. Scored 21 runs. The Tigers have done a better job holding him down, under 300, only 4 home runs. And he's been in a bit of a slump since the middle of August. However, he did hit a home run for the first time in about 80 at-bats. So he's the number 3 guy in a long lineup for the Tiger pitchers to deal with in this series.
And as you mentioned, he kills Tigers pitching in his career, but has struggled over the last 24 games. If the Tigers can hit like they play defense, they should be in pretty good shape. Stay right there. Mickey York from the Call Sam studio with some key numbers to Game 1. That's coming up right after this on Fox Sports Detroit. can be. Come to Comerica. By Jeep. Hurry into the Jeep Adventure Days event for a great deal. And by Greektown Casino Hotel, the only hotel in the heart of downtown Detroit. We're in the heart of downtown Cleveland on this Friday night. Between the two division rivals, it is games number 16, or 17, 18, and 19 on a perfect night, 76 degrees. Here's the Tigers batting order presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jamer Candelario, 3 for 5 in his career against Josh Tomlin. Nick Castellanos batting .324 against the Cleveland starter Pete Kozma. Second stint with Detroit. 16 games played with the Tigers so far this year after being recalled to play shortstop tonight and bat 9. Josh Tomlin making his first start since May 15th. Fires the first pitch wide.
It's got to be one of the more quieter beginnings I've been in any ballpark.
I'm a little surprised it's not as packed as you would think it would be for a team that is tops in the division. 82 wins and has dominated the way the Tigers have. Magic number to 2 for Terry Francona's club. Candelario goes deep on the third pitch of the night, and it's 1-0 Tigers.
Nice, Candy, attaboy. Tomlin has been susceptible to the home run. This one he's trying to cut into the lead. Just kind of leaves it out with the plate. Candy does not miss. .107.9, 30 degrees.
Sweet swing from Jamer Candelario.
Jamer's been swinging and missing more than normal, but when he's been connecting, they've been going, and it did tonight.
Kristen Stewart now 1-1. You mentioned Tomlin susceptible to the homers. That's the 23rd homer he's allowed this year. That is tied with Corey Kluber for the team lead. The difference there, Gibby, is that Tomlin has pitched 139 fewer innings.
He's been out of the pen, hasn't he?
Sure
Most of the year.
Yeah.
He's down in AAA for a while. Just came back in September. Let's take a look at the MGM Grand. Josh Tomlin. Record is 1-5. Needs his cutter to be working. He throws it about 40% of the time. That's his highest rate of his career. Tigers went 4 for 20 against the cutter earlier in the year. Everyone else has hit 288 off it, but Candy got a hold of one there for a big fly to lead off the game for the Tigers. 1-0.
And team's batting .307 against him. Those are scary numbers if you're an Indians fan.
I wrote a topic down here for later in the game. What is each team afraid of? Cleveland, Penn. I think they feel okay about their starting pitching. We'll get into that as the game goes on. Josh Tomlin, I think there's some loyalty with him, and they're giving him some more starts. But we've got a nice youngster that might take his spot. The bullpen has been their Achilles heel. As I said, every team that's thinking about going to playoffs, what's their worry? The Yankees, what are they worried about? Oakland? I don't think they're worried about anything.
Christian Stewart with a really good at-bat to draw a walk.
Let's take a look at the Indians starting defense. Pretty good work. Michael Brantley out and left. Jason Kipnis moved from second base to center. Brandon Guyer is in right. Josh Donaldson just over from the Blue Jays. Lindor, Ramirez up the middle there. Very good and very young. Andy Diaz at first base. Juan Gomes behind the plate. Josh Tomlin is on the mound.
Donaldson, the 2015 most valuable player. Struggled to stay healthy and struggled at the plate this year. Castellanos greets Tomlin with a first pitch base hit to left. He was all over it.
This is nothing new. It's amazing. I keep saying it. Nick Castellanos can just flat hit. He just keep putting good pitches out there, and he does not miss them. Had a home run 2 days ago on a hanger. This is a fastball down the middle. Does not miss. With the home run from Candy, they lead 1-0, and Stewie gets the walk, and now Nick with the single. Tigers threatening again, first and second, nobody out. Here's Victor, your guy.
Boy, you would think at 59 up and 87 down that the Tigers would be a little disjointed, but Nick Castellanos before the game today taking pictures as he was walking to the Tigers dugout, taking pictures with folks, signing autographs. I don't think he turned anybody down. Victor Martinez 0-1 to him.
He's very intense, yet he's very relaxed in certain situations. Kind of admire the way he is, but I say he's intense in that he's locked in on what he has to do. I don't think Nick spends as much time preparing, watching film in maybe the, I guess, resonant way that many guys prepare. I think Nick just scales it back a bit.
Line drive and the first out of the inning from Victor Martinez.
Now I'm going to show it. This might seem trivial. Again, this is something the Tigers have to be good at. Victor hits a line drive. You're on first and second. Nobody out. You got doubled off last week. Let's watch what we do. You got to read it. The ball. You got to look at the ball or the hit bat ball height. You see that height. You got to immediately go back. They both got it back there. You have to train yourself whenever you're on base. You see the guys running the bases in batting practice. You got to practice.
Jim Ducey goes opposite field. Michael Brantley is there for out number 2. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. James McCann with a chance for an RBI here.
Chance for 3 if he gets hold of it.
Get runners on early. You feel like you should have a big inning. But both Martinez and Ducey hit the ball pretty hard, just right at people.
If you're Cleveland, you're just trying to get out of here with minimal damage. Wonder what people think. Have I said that a few times? Yes, I have. And that was the way I was taught. You can't just say it and assume. You have to imprint that so it comes first nature. Whether you're a fan, an analyst, or a player. Or the play-by-play guy.
McCann on the inside corner, 1-1. Went 2 for 8 in the series against Houston. Did include his 8th homer of the season. 1-2.
So another thing right now, we've switched to a new situation. We got 2 outs. We got a man on first and second. Tonight comes to mind for me. Got Nick Castellanos over here at first base. My telestrator's not working very good, but you need to cheat off so you make sure you score on a double. See, the first baseman is back behind you.
Yeah, way off the bag too.
However, you cannot get off so far. When you get picked off, you get way off and you get back immediately.
McCann pops it up, shallow center, and it's going to be Ramirez who makes the grab. But the Tigers do play to run, courtesy of Jamer Candelario's 4th career leadoff homer. Matthew Boyd says, "Thank you very much. I'll go to work in the bottom of the first." Tigers starting pitcher is Matthew Boyd. It's presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. He makes his 29th start of the year for Gibson.
Well, Matt Boyd, we keep talking about the slider versus the Cardinals. It was electric, threw most of them for strikes, got outs, did not give up any hits. I'm going to throw a question out there. If you're going to rank starting pitcher sliders this season, where would Matt Boyd's fit in?
Top 10?
He's climbing the ladder. I think that's the direction I'm going with that. But he's starting to get very consistent with that, and it's being a very powerful and effective pitch. Something that he knows what he's doing with. Before it was all in. Now he's mixing it up, and it's coming in more effective.
Team's batting just 176 against that slider. Indians have Francisco Lindor leading off. The outstanding shortstop has 7 leadoff homers in his career, tied for first in Indians history.
And I threw that question out there. You can probably tweet to us. It's Fox Sports Detroit Twitter or mine. Sheps.
Well, I got your Twitter. You want to give that out to folks, or
they can find it
at 23 Gibby.
K Gibby.
K Gibby. Yeah, 23 K Gibby. Lindor smokes one to left center. Stewart hustles over, so does Jones, and it gets by Kristen Stewart. Lindor will hit the bag at second. He will cruise into third, and a misplay in the outfield has the Indians with their leadoff man at third base.
Little miscommunication out here. I'm not sure what way, but generally the center fielder is the captain, and he kind of looks like Stewie got in Jacoby's way. It goes to the wall. That's a long walk for the wall, and that's a stand-up triple. But those are the kind of things when you get young guys playing together, you got to make sure everybody communicates on every play. And whatever they did, it wasn't good enough because you saw a misplay. But they're going to try and clean that up. Stewie's young. He's very impressionable and open to getting better.
They marked that as a double and an error on Kristen Stewart.
I think that he kind of got in front of Jacoby. I think Jacoby would have had it. But Stewie's looked good since he's been here in the outfield.
Rob, a Astro of a home run the other day. He made a nice running catch and left as well.
We were in Gardy's office today. We had a good crew in there. Danny Dickerson was in there. Tram, Jim Leland. Had a good discussion about a lot of things.
A ton of fun. Yeah,
Gardy really wants to see his defense improve. I think it's one of the reasons you see Pete Kozma out there at shortstop. He got the lineup.
Yeah, he's out there on. Be able to pick it at short, but here's the rest of the Indians batting order, brought to you by our Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jose Ramirez, the only member of the 30-30 club in Indians history. Jan Gomes batting 8th. He's hit safely in 12 of his last 15. Brantley batting .364 against Matthew Boyd in his career.
Brantley, good plate discipline, contact, doesn't swing and miss a ton. Has been injured quite a bit.
Got him looking.
Nice pitch. McLaren Health Plan brings you the Tigers starting defense. I'm sorry, the Indians starting defense. The Tigers out there in left field. Kristen Stewart, Jacoby Jones in center, Nicholas Castellanos in right, Candelaria, Kozma, Lugo, and Aducey on the infield. Matt Boyd's throwing to James McCann. Let's go. Let's get it together. That 3-hour ride down here. It's locked in on Shep's driving. Thought we were going to Indianapolis to the Speedway.
We made a lot of friends on the way down. Jose Ramirez with 38 homers. That's third most in the American League.
That was a great pitch by Matt Boyd.
That's a check swing. Did that hit him or did that hit the bat?
He swung at that.
Sure. Okay. Ramirez is trying to coax his way down to first. Terry Francona wants some type of explanation from Jeremy Rehak.
I think he said that he may have signaled down to the first base umpire will signal very quickly on these. They're giving him the base. Gave him the base.
Sure did. Well, it puts runners at the corners in a possible double play situation for Matthew Boyd. And this guy's always dangerous. Edwin Encarnacion. 30 homers. Tried to have 3 players in their lineup with 30 homers or more. First time that's happened for him since 1999. Good start to the pitch situation for Matthew Boyd toward Encarnacion.
Encarnacion is a smart hitter. He will set you up. Like, you just watch the way he stepped there. He will sit on the pitch. He does not miss.
Play him to pull. The shift on the left side of the infield. Smoke to left, but foul.
Now you're going to have to watch right here. James McCann set up inside pretty quick. They also went inside to Brantley. They went inside to Lindor. And you've got base runners on the base. You got one down there. They can't signal that he's inside. You want to move late. Real late. Maybe you deke him in, then move out late.
0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Huge sweet sequence there by Matthew Boyd.
Good job of McCann and Boyd right here. They remember they've been going inside and everybody else comes outside, backdoors it, and Encarnacion gets caught cheating in. Excellent sequence by the two battery mates.
Leaves it up to Josh Donaldson. Started a couple of nights ago, but went 0 for 4. He's 0 for 5 as a member of the Cleveland franchise. Matthew Boyd doing a good job of getting ahead of the hitters and working at his pace.
Got Jose Ramirez over there at first base, 32 steals. Tigers got to decide what they want to do if he goes. Do you want to hold your position and try and throw him out? Or do you want to just stay at your positions and play defense?
They ran on Matthew Boyd last time he started against Cleveland. In tight 1-1.
So that's what I mean. If the third baseman goes over here to keep the guy close, that's one thing. If you cover at second, you vacate. I wouldn't be surprised if they just let him go. If you stay where you're defending, where you want to defend, you have a better chance of getting the hitter out. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere to me. They want that hole over there.
Pulled the string and it's 1-2. What do you think of the acquisition of Donaldson to this Cleveland lineup?
Well, you can see what they're trying to do. I mean, they're lengthening the lineup. Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, Encarnacion is very good. Now you add Donaldson. You've got Gomes. Kipnis is batting ninth. Pretty dang good. They got a long lineup.
Good stop by McCann. 2-2 to Josh Donaldson. We had mentioned he won the 2015 American League MVP. That year he batted .297, 41 homers, and drove in 123 runs.
Wasn't that long ago.
It was 3 years ago. The 2-2 pitch from Boyd. Got him swinging. He struck out the side. Indians threaten, and they'll regret that first, no doubt. They leave runners at the corners, but Matthew Boyd buckles down to keep them off the board. Incredible job by Matthew Boyd in the bottom of first. Runners at first and third, nobody down, and he strikes out the side. That is moxie.
2 of them were taken. No offer.
Jacoby Jones, who joined us during our telecast the other day.
He was good.
He told me before the game, he said, you know, I'd never done that before. I was a little nervous, but I really enjoyed it. 2-1 to him. Jones a career high 11 homers on the year. Play him straight up. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Brandon Geyer takes care of business. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Detroit's issues at Progressive Field carried over from 2017. They've lost 10 in a row. And during that time, they have been outscored 62-11.
Not very friendly, is it?
No, it's not. So long ago, they were dominating the Tribe here. Well, Lugo, who went 2 for 10 against Houston in the series. Experiencing what every young player is going to have to experience during a major league season. That is scuffling. Tapper back up the box. They're going to have to hurry. Nice backhand play by Ramirez. That was gorgeous.
Take a look at the route. We have a great view up here up top. Ramirez came in, picked his hop. You got to reach. As soon as that ball's hit, you got to pick your hop. You have to run to that spot, get your feet in position so you can make a good strong throw. Now look at that ball. See it tailed back. Got to learn how to do that. You're out playing catch in the backyard, boys. You got to move both ways and learn how to throw the ball.
What was the most impressive part of that? The exchange, the footwork, or the strength and accuracy of the throw?
Like I said, it's just his ability to read the hop. Alan Trammell was the best that I've been around, and he'll stand on the field. You just stand there and look at it. He would run right to the spot. You can tell by infielders, they get a bad hop. They don't read it off the bat. The guys that get the good hops all the time, they read them and they know where to go. And it's all about feet. Read and get your feet there, get lined up. You can field it and throw it accurately and strong.
Good to see Pete Kozma back in the Tigers uniform. You know he's going to be a sure-handed shortstop. Like he went around, and he did. After a struggle in the first, Josh Tomlin lays down the side in the second. squandering a chance in the first against Matthew Boyd. Yandy Diaz, the first baseman, leads off.
I don't know if they squandered the lead, but Boyd was having nothing to it, was he? Went right to work.
They changed the Lindor hit. It was a single with a 2-base error. 1-1 to Diaz.
Christian just got to be aggressive. Can't let that get to him.
Do outfielders talk even on base hits like that? We assume that they just talk when there's a fly ball and both are converging. Do they do it when there's a base hit up the gap as well?
I would hope so. If Jacoby felt he should get it, he'd be saying, I got it, I got it, I got it. And Stewie probably should have went behind him, or the other way around, you know. And Stewie actually was ahead up in front of Jacoby. But I just think that was Jacoby's ball, the way he was coming in.
Here's one clubbed to the right center field gap, but Castellanos had a nice jump and tracked it down.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Matt Boyd, first inning, gets in trouble. Look at the sequence here to Michael Brantley. Then he front doors him, gets him. Sequence to Encarnacion, the big foul ball. Looked big and bad, but got him backdoor. And then Josh Donaldson, that's good stuff. Two of them taken. So, you know, he's being effective. We talked about it in the open.
Really good effort against St. Louis on Saturday as he goes high and tight to Brandon Guyer. Guyer, 188 hitter against Matthew Boyd in his career. One and two. Getting out of a jam like Boyd did in the first. Is there a carryover effect, do you think, for pitchers?
It is, but sometimes you got to use your bullets, and it can have a negative effect on you down the road. But he strikes out Guyer here. Let's look at the next catch here, just previous. We got a good view from here as well. Got on his horse. At first he realized it was over his head. Look at him. His routes are becoming way better, way straighter. I don't know if you can tell, but he knew that ball was over his head. He ran right to it, put the arm up late. And you see how he had his arm out away from his body? When you do that, you never lose sight of the ball. If you get that glove right in front of your face, you lose the ball. Sometimes you can wear it. That makes sense?
It does. So you don't run after a fly ball like you're running down the first baseline. You want your arm out, is what you're saying.
Well, at the last second, but you want it away from your body. You get it right in front of your body, you have really nowhere to move your arm, and you have to reach up, and it's usually right in front of your face. So you're running hard, your eyes are bouncing. All of a sudden you put your glove up at the last second and you can bobble it, sometimes drop them. At least that's what I was taught in Mr. Kaline's class. And I think he knows a little bit about what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's a good prof.
And again, if you overrun it, if it's out to the side where you can move and make your adjustments, you have a better chance of recovering on a missed play than you do with your arms out in front of you.
1 and 2 now to Yan Gomes.
Sounds like a instructional video.
Sometimes that's what's needed.
We'll get you out here tomorrow in your street shoes, and we'll display it.
Gomes hits one foul. You're going to school me a little bit like you did in ping pong and pool earlier today.
I didn't say it. Shep's amazing. Came over to pick me up. I had to play a couple games of ping pong. A couple games of pool. He had me in the first game. He had me. You sucked the 8 ball.
I'm not going to let that one go for a while. It's going to bother me for a while.
You like losing, huh?
As much as you do.
Yeah, that.
Ping pong, though, I mean, you just took me out to the woodshed.
Don't tell Trev any of my secrets. He's going to be huge challenging me.
We'll get the cameras rolling on that one. 2-2 to Gomes. And Matthew Boyd has 5 strikeouts.
Picking up.
3 in the first, 2 in the second. And he looks like he's in total control.
One powered by AWS. Candy's home run 107.9 miles per hour, 30 degrees, 422 feet. I think he had one at about 440 almost earlier in the year, but it got out of here quick. Tigers lead 1-0.
4th leadoff home run of the year. Jamer Candelario expects to see a different mix this time up. High pop up on the infield. Lindor called for it right away.
Cutter got him.
Don't anticipate Josh Tomlin pitching for Cleveland as a starter in the postseason.
They got a youngster in the wings.
And Bieber, who we will see on Sunday, will probably get that call.
Tomlin's been in the bullpen most of this year and in AAA.
Stewart fouls it back.
Magic number is 2 for Cleveland, so they could conceivably clinch tonight.
Conceivably, for sure.
Tito is thinking about how to get his team ready. He's got some competition. The playoffs will be very good baseball teams. Who's the hottest? Whose pitching staff's the healthiest? Whose bullpen's on fire?
He needs a win here and a Minnesota loss to Kansas City to clinch, which would be Cleveland's 3rd consecutive division title.
How do you measure what you should do with your staff right now? I mean,
I think he's doing it right now, right? By starting Tomlin. I mean, considering Tomlin, this is just his 7th start of the year, 1st since May 15th, which ironically enough was against Detroit. He's been a primary bullpen guy and will be in the postseason, but maybe they just want to stretch him out a little bit. Maybe they want to rest their rotation. Whatever the decision, it seems to work for Terry Francona. Stewart with a ground ball to second. Ramirez makes the easy toss. 2 quick outs. Nicholas Castellanos takes on Josh Tomlin. Today brought to you by AARP. Already had a base hit in the first. And you see that Castellanos has really good numbers against the Cleveland right-hander.
324, a couple of home runs. On base, 340 plus. Nick, he's always looking. I was talking about the way he gets ready. It is different. Many guys go in, I've known a lot of hitters go in and really study the tapes, really filter it. Man on second, nobody out. Man on second, third, one out.
Never worry about, as a manager, analysis?
Paralysis by analysis.
Too much analysis?
For some players, that's easier to say and do than others. And Nick is very simple. And he hits third. He's got two hitters to watch what's going on. It's almost, to simplify it, not too much, but that's what works for him.
This one back up the box, and another base hit for Nicholas Castellanos. Long turn.
Like that.
Yeah, I do too. Aggressive nature. Hey, celebrate Irish Heritage Night at Comerica Park on Friday, September 21st, when the Tigers host the Royals at 7:10. Purchase a special themed event package that includes a game ticket, Tigers Irish Heritage Night hat, and a donation to the United Irish Societies. For more information, visit tigers.com/Irish.
Love that turn by Nick. Ran hard, made the outfielder rush it, throw it hard. Then you just retreat back. Now that will make for a bobble play somewhere over the course of a year. He served notice. When they see that, you're an outfielder, the first you're thinking, he's going to stop, but when he doesn't stop, you rush it in there. Somewhere down the line, you'll make an errant throw. So here it is, normal signal. He's running hard. See it, but you got to get back right away. Watch him. He's just got to get it. That's Kipnis. He throws it right in there.
Is that because Kipnis is a former second baseman and Detroit just wants to test him a little bit?
It's called constant pressure. So let's just say he might come in there like that, and it takes a bad hop and it goes by him. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get people to rush. You want to just jog so they can just get down on one knee. You want to force the issue.
1-1 now to Victor Martinez.
It makes all the sense in the world to pressure your opponent. Some guys it doesn't bother, other guys it does. But let's find out who they are.
And that's been emphasized by Ron Gardenhire basically from spring training on.
That's just making them make the play. Find out how they are, how they react, how they throw the ball in. Is it straight? Is it tailing? Maybe his arm's sore from throwing a bunch in the previous 3 games. You do your scouting, and most teams still have scouts in the stands, as well as analyzation by the metrics and the numbers.
I would guess what else pleased Ron Gardenhire and his staff on that is that Castellanos knew he was going to do that as soon as he left the batter's box. That was not something that crossed his mind when he hit first base.
No, he didn't jog halfway. He took off. So that outfielder looks, I mean, he sold it. He threw it in. Again, I seem to make note of trivial things to some, but these are not trivial. These are things that add up, make a difference.
Martinez skies one to left. Back goes Brantley, still going back 4 feet from the wall, and the Tigers are done. Nick Castellanos 2 for 2. But the Tigers hold on to a 1-0 lead as we head to the third.
Donaldson in, chases Kipnis from second base to center field. He's the guy that Nick was pressuring, but pretty hot as of late. 327 since August 26th. 4 bombs. 1,031.035 OPS. Want to be careful with him. So when they brought Josh Donaldson in, he goes out. Got to be a team player. Got to deal with different things in the outfield than you do from the infield. The throwing's way different. Kind of short armor on the infield, and the outfield, you get, obviously they have to carry.
Add some pop to the bottom of this Cleveland lineup. 15 homers on the year. Gomes, who hits in front of him, has 14. Two and one to him.
Look at his batting style. He kind of rests that bat. You can see it's in his left hand. He kind of lays it flat. There's not a lot of movement.
Rod Carew is a little like that.
It's very still.
2 and 2.
Matt Boyd's rolling. He just gets the ball back, feeling really confident. It's almost the greatest asset you can have as a player on that diamond. Confidence and conviction in what you're doing.
And tight, and it's full.
See how he took that? He didn't even flinch. Many times you'll take it and you'll like flinch at it. It's not what you want to do as a hitter. Ball.
6 straight retired now by Matthew Boyd as Kipnis grabs some bench. Let's go to a game break in Mickey York. We'll miss him, Mick. That's for sure. Great leader.
Talking about the captain, I thought Stevie Y was coming back or something.
Those last 3 captains the Red Wings have had. I've argued this. The best leaders I've ever covered in Detroit. Lidstrom, Zetterberg, Yzerman, Chauncey Billups.
That's 4.
Yeah. Oh, did I say 3?
Thought you said 3.
I'm sorry. I thought
you get a bonus if you want.
I thought Torrey Hunter was an outstanding leader.
He was.
Drilled to left, but foul.
Okay, Lindor, he's potent up at the top there.
Leads all Major League Baseball leadoff hitters in homers and RBIs.
Unscored.
He's got 33 homers in the leadoff spot. He's got 34 on the year, but 33 in the leadoff spot. And he's driven in 83 of his 85.
So they got 16 games remaining. Pad those numbers some more.
Big time. One of the best players in the game.
There you see it, 119 runs, 16 games to go. He's going to be up even higher.
There's a slew of runs scored. He's also number 1, actually number 2 now in multi-hit games. J.D. Martinez leads the American League in multi-hit games. Lindor is number 2. Number 3 is Nicholas Castellanos, because he's got a couple of singles here tonight. He and Mookie Betts each have 50 multi-hit games.
So Lindor has been in 144 games, so he's been out what, 2 games. He got 16 left. That's 160, so it leaves 2 games that he's not playing.
Pretty good.
Pretty good haul.
Waits on the payoff pitch from Boyd. He'll take the free pass. Matthew Boyd had retired 6 in a row, and 5 of them via the strikeout as you enjoy a Miller Lite. Look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game.
23 steals, 8 caught. And I think the last time the Tribe faced Matt Boyd, they had something on him. Sandy Alomar over there. They were running him wild. They had a bunch of steals.
Sandy Alomar Jr., the first base coach for Cleveland, of course, former great catcher.
Watch for the hit and run here. Good combination.
Brantley struck out looking his first time.
Do that breaking ball off the body. Throws him up.
It helped to be an ex-catcher to find that little quirk in a starting pitcher's delivery and how he changes things when a man is on first.
I think they say catchers are well equipped, let's just put it that way, to do just about anything on the diamond because they're so cognizant of everything that goes on in the game. They're sitting there watching, right?
And it could be as simple as where you place your hands, couldn't it?
Oh yeah. What do you do with your eyes? First move, what do you do with your thumb? You drop your gloves, and the hand come out quick. They look at you, they look away.
Brantley pounds one to right, but foul.
A lot of foul balls. Tells you Matt Boyd's getting it in there where you want it.
Brantley is 5th in the American League with at least 1 hit games. He has 100 1-hit games.
Yeah, he really changes their lineup.
Smooth stroke. Waits on the 0-2 offering. Just missed on the outside.
Can really held it there. Did you see that? He wanted it. Was trying to set up for another pitch. He knew it was off. Oh, it was 4 or 5 inches off the plate. Gave the long hold.
Remember, Cleveland loves to run. They lead the American League in stolen bases with 121.
Somewhere he's going to go. He's going to try and guess a pitch that's going to be in the zone. One that Brantley can put the bat on.
And when you're guessing, it's not just guessing if he's throwing home or throwing to first. It's guessing which pitch he's throwing to, right? Because you'd like to ideally steal on an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about stealing. I'm talking about putting the runner on base. You have a very good runner. You have a contact hitter up at the dish. You want to get him moving and let your contact hitter make contact. Then your best hitter is right behind them in Ramirez. So, I mean, it's just Encarnacion is behind him. Just making things happen, knowing that Brantley can cover with contact if Lindor goes. Moving those infielders.
To second, Lugo dropped it. He'll get the easy force at second.
Knuckleball.
Here's Chevrolet's most dependable players. First switch hitting teammates in Major League Baseball history. For 2020. Those players, Lindor, the leadoff man, and Ramirez, the number 3 hitter.
Everybody would take that. You get players that play together well. It's kind of like Whitaker and Trammell. You get players you can depend on them. Like you knew they were going to be second short. Didn't have to worry about it. That's obviously something you want to have handled. We had a good discussion about the importance of each position.
Yeah,
remember?
I thought it was great. Yeah.
Number 1, we went catcher.
This is besides pitcher. This is position players outside of pitchers.
Number 2, we went first base.
Right. And explain why you went first base. And that was, by the way, validated by Ron Gardenhire and Jim Leland, who we had a long conversation with prior to the game today.
It's where the ball goes really the second most.
Ramirez pops it up. Lugo's got a beat on it. And Matthew Boyd continues to impress. Tigers lead at 1-0 as we head to the fourth. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
In midsummer?
Well, I think it's as soon as you realize that's the only way to go, that's when you kind of start to get used to the idea, and so. But I don't think it really suck in yet. It's going to be hard when the season starts and guys are going away to play.
Henrik Zetterberg at Red Wings training camp with our John Keating. Had played 82 games, all 82 games in each of the last 3 years, but announcing his retirement today. And we will all miss him. I remember he played for a team in Team Sweden that was the first team ever to win an Olympic gold medal and a world championship in the same year. But I remember hearing about the pain he went through, inability to sleep while in the Olympics. Ducey sends one deep to center. Way off the wall, and Ducey will hit the bag standing up at second base.
So let me get this right. So he's just retired?
Just retired, right.
And they get cap relief?
Well, he'll be long-term injured reserve. Yes, they will get cap relief.
So it does have some benefit. They'd love to have Hank.
Yeah, you'd rather have your leading scorer. Here's the play off the wall. Kipnis played it well.
The ball really carried.
Yeah, sure did.
Let's get him over. Let's have Jacoby Jones get him in. So the Tigers have to do a better job of it. He's got to hit it to the right side of the field. I mean, they're back. If you even have to bunt it, got to find a way to get him over.
Both teams 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight. McCann popped up to second first time up.
Cannot strike out. Got to put it in play. You got to show that you're trying to do what's right for the team. You may get rewarded with an RBI hit.
Good stop by Gomes.
Good take by James. You can just tell his mindset is right. He's trying to go to the right side. It's interesting turnover. on the Tigers team. You got a lot of new faces, a lot of youngsters. McCann has been here a little while. I know he wants to assume a leadership role, so it's an interesting dynamic. You've seen it in Shep and all kinds of locker rooms.
Pop up right side of the infield. Diaz has no problem, and there's one down.
Won't be happy about that. Tried to get it over there.
See the breakdown of Josh Tomlin's night so far.
35 strikes, 15 balls. Leaves it up to Jacoby.
Off speed, caught the inside corner.
Notice the Indians, when they get men in trouble, get men in scoring position, they go right to the spin ball. They're another one of the teams that believes in spinning pitches quite a bit.
One and one.
Got to make yourself disciplined.
Already some activity in that Cleveland bullpen.
And Tito isn't going to take not much patience. They're going to try and hold the runs down.
1-2 to Jacoby Jones.
One count. Went with the spin ball again. What they're going to do.
Pulled. Fair. Adducci will score. And Jacoby Jones with an RBI double when the Tigers lead it 2-0.
Good job, Jacoby. Way to pick your teammate up, get her done.
Now, he didn't go the opposite way, but it was a good at bat.
But he was waiting on it. He got the fastball. Good approach. See it on the line drive. We were talking about Jacoby not getting rewarded for hitting the ball on the line, but does tonight. Sometimes you think middle and you pull, as opposed to thinking pull and pull off it. Good at bat. James McCann feeling better about himself. I know he's frustrated about not getting him over. But again, this isn't critical. It's just a mindset. I'm just pointing it out.
Hey, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the Fox Sports app. Download the Fox Sports app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you. Made available by Oakland University. Terry Francona decides to stick with Josh Tomlin rather than going with John Edwards, who's in the bullpen. And it'll be Joel Lugo.
Big hit right there.
Yeah, there's been a couple of moments already in this game. Matthew Boyd striking out the side in the first after the Tribe had runners at first and third, and then that at bat by Jacoby Jones right there. Lugo grounded to second his first time out.
Now, if you're thinking about stealing, this is good. You got a right-handed hitter up there, could block the catcher. We got to get our time and just make sure he's okay.
Yeah, Gomes is so good though at cutting down.
He's great.
Traffic on the base paths.
You have to get a walking lead for sure.
Jones 10 for 15 in the stolen base category, but Gomes has a pop time. That's the throw to second though, maybe not to third, of 1.97, second best in the American League.
Yeah, but you have the right-handed batter in there. That's something that's good. Got to get a head start.
Jones dancing off second. Lugo a tapper back to the mound. Tomlin only has one play.
Lugo looked like he was a little shy after he hit that. Did you see that?
Yeah. Wasn't sure if he should go almost.
Yeah, you just got to get your head down. Long leg it down there. Got a low fly down there.
Leaves it up to Pete Cosmo.
What you got?
Yeah. Busted.
Well, again, you got a guy on second, Jacoby Jones. He's a good runner. He rush a throw, pressure. What's that? Who sings that song about pressure?
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. There you go. I mean, it's nice. Take your time, take a couple steps, get your feet underneath you, throw it to first easy, right? Or a little rush.
Well, it's putting pressure on that defense like you were talking about. Castellanos on the last hit.
Yeah,
with a wide turn.
I'm being picky, but I know that, and you were in there today talking to Gardy, I know that's what he sings at. Look at all the plays. There's been a lot of plays that we've been talking about, these little pressure plays. Just think about, you just institute that. Playing the Indians. It's a different game.
You all remember 2006, the PFP there. Cosmo fouls it back. Right?
Yeah, there was 5 of them actually. That was very unusual. You're talking about the pitchers, right?
Yeah, pitcher's fielding position, yeah. That was a big reason why there was such a struggle beating the Cardinals that year. You just never know. Remember, Josh Tomlin hasn't started since May 15th. Maybe that factors into it. You just never know. I think to get that edge, Cosmo fouls another one back.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to stay with it till the end of the year because you got to force yourself to try and do it the right way. Develop good habits and expectation. I'm sure that Gardy's going to be around here and he's going to get players that will do that.
Well, he's going to demand it. There's no doubt about it.
This isn't about being personal on anybody. This is about the game.
Cosmo caught looking. Jacoby Jones left stranded to third, but he did drive in a run to make it 2-zip. Manny Machado had a big game against the Cards. We're going to show you his night and update the races in the National League when we return after this. Matthew Boyd goes to work here in the fourth. Already 6 strikeouts, 3 swinging, and obviously 3 looking. Edwin Encarnacion, a strikeout victim back in the first. 30 homers for a 7th straight season, and he's hit by the first pitch. Second Cleveland player to be hit by a pitch.
It looked like he dove. And Matt's trying to get the ball inside so he can't get his arms out. But it may have had a little cut on it. Oh, it's a slider. It had him. Looked like he froze on it. I want to get him mad at you. He's a strong man.
30. Yeah.
Hear him growling down there?
Yeah, like I said, 30 homers or more, 7 straight years. Gibby, that's the longest since Miguel Cabrera did it. 07 through 13. That's some pretty good company right there.
I know he does not like cold weather. He starts slow in cold weather. But every year he comes around and gets his 30. 30-90, 7 straight seasons.
Impressive. That's a guy who can hit. Donaldson ahead in the count 2-0. Played 36 games with Toronto before the trade. 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Tribe doing whatever they can to try and offset Matthew Boyd's groove. Taking a little time because Boyd likes to get it and throw it.
Get a ground ball.
Instead, it's a pop-up.
That's up there.
Cosmo. He'll take charge. Time now for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night, Manny Machado recorded 3 hits, had a homer, drove in 3, and added this bare hand pick. Beautiful play. 9-7. Dodgers beat the Cards. They're within 1 game of St. Louis for the second wild card spot in the National League. Milwaukee has the lead in the National League by 3 over St. Louis. And the Tigers will close out the 2018 campaign in Milwaukee.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Like you said, you have to, you know, you got to motivate yourself one thing or another. Wouldn't it be fun making it tough on Milwaukee? Plus, you owe it to the game to give it everything you got. You owe it to every other team that's playing. If you were in that situation, you wouldn't want them to anybody to mail it in, would you?
No, absolutely not. I wish that would be a little bit more of a religion throughout sports.
And plus, you're going to see teams playing with a lot of pressure on themselves, right? When they walk on that field.
Right.
So take that as a lesson how it works.
This one down the right field line, but again, foul. Dodgers, by the way, 1.5 back of Colorado in the National League West. But a very unique statistic. LA is a plus 135 in the run scoring differential. Colorado is only a plus 6.
Colorado's winning those close games. Had a team in, I believe it was 2007, the Diamondbacks. I was a bench coach there. We had a similar, I think we are negative. But you know, we got blown out, or we won the close ones.
That's a good point. Colorado's 25-14 in one-run games. 25-14. The Dodgers are 21-21. So there's a huge difference right there.
Good races as we go down the stretch.
Yeah, really fun to watch. Diaz, tough one to take. It's 2-2.
Wild card races heating up as well. Boston and Cleveland are in the division leaders. New York, Oakland, Tampa Bay, and Seattle still alive. Tampa Bay and Seattle getting back 8 games. That's
I don't
pretty
think Seattle.
tough.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for them to make up ground.
But Oakland, New York does not want to get behind Oakland because they'll have to go out to Oakland, and they would be scared to do that. Got a walk. And here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. 94, low of 72. So Matt's got a little bit of pressure to deal with himself right now. 1 out, men in first, second. He'll face Brandon Geyer. Geyer 201 on the year. 356 though with runners in scoring position.
Hitting just above 250 since July. But it's 0-1. Cleveland 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Need two. Tigers defense pretty much conventional. No shit.
Geyer 1 of 6 strikeout victims by Matthew Boyd. This one punched foul. 0-2.
Got him in the second. Boyd has 13 foul balls today, so out of how many pitches does he have now? He's got 66. 13 of those are foul balls. 1366. Give me that number.
38 strikes, 28 out of the zone. Got him looking. Second time that he's struck out Brandon Geyer.
The Geyer didn't like it, but he got fooled. He's looking for the fastball. Boyd, 3 sliders in a row. So you're up there, you're thinking slider, slider. Then he's going to come with another slider. Or he's coming with a fastball away. This time he's going to set me up. He drops it in. The guys take strike 3s. And he's got 4 of them right now.
Beautiful shot of Progressive Fields in Cleveland.
That tells you something.
Where the Tribe are 44 and 28 all this year. Yan Gomes stands in. He was a strikeout victim back in the second. Gomes, since August 1st, is batting .316, and he has 30 hits, second most of all Major League Baseball catchers. Only Yadier Molina's 31 or more. One and one.
You said 310 since August 10th, ranked second in defensive run saved, third in good play. That's a pretty good player.
Yeah, he is. I mean, they have at the bottom of your lineup pretty darn good, especially a guy who really limits the traffic on the base paths. He's a nice player.
So much goes into defense nowadays.
Swung through an off-speed pitch. Boyd ahead of the count.
70 pitches by inning, 19 in the first and third, 17 in the fourth. That's kind of a high count.
Yeah, some stress there, no doubt. Stress in 3 of the 4 innings.
So if you're Gardy, start counting backwards. You know how we do it. Green in the 9th, Joe in the 8th, maybe 1 in the 3rd.
Barely stayed alive.
So that puts you. You need to get through
5.
You need to get through 7 2/3 innings, and we're at 4 2/3. We got 3 innings to cover right here. Hopefully Matt Boyd can make 2 of those. Leaves you an inning and 2/3 left.
Well, the bullpen's pretty darn good. If you got it to the 7th, that'd be pretty good. Boyd has gone 5 innings or more in 11 straight starts. This one, high fly ball, deep left. Kristen Stewart tracking it, and making the grab in the corner. Crowd got excited. Matthew Boyd with a smile and a little bit of a bailout.
This is good concentration. This is a high wall.
of Josh Tomlin.
And a well side windows pitching change. 35th game. See, just a little over an inning per game. 15 walks, 56 strikeouts. That's with the Indians. Only 3 1/3 innings pitched. The top numbers are in the minor leagues.
He replaces Josh Tomlin, who had just 4 swings and misses all night.
So Tito's trying to figure out his bullpen, his starting staff, getting ready for the playoffs, with the magic number being 2.
There he is talking with his starter tonight.
Terry Francona is a master at having good talks, relationships, connection to his players. He was on that list of managers we had the other day who failed at their first job and won world championships on their second job.
Stroke back up the middle, but there in center was Jason Kipnis. Let's go back to college with Nissan, and it's Kristen Stewart, first round pick out of the University of Tennessee, and one of many former volunteers who have been associated with the Tigers organization. Phil Garner, for example, is one. Joe Randa is another.
The Joker.
Bubba Trammell was out of Tennessee.
Not Tram's brother.
No, not Tram's brother. Stewart 0 for 1. He's reached base in all 4 games he started for the Tigers.
Ooh, just missed that one.
Popped it up, foul territory. No play for Diaz. It's a challenge for young players when they get behind in the count at this level.
Well, the challenge is to find yourself comfortable in a 2-strike count. It's okay. You got to be willing to take pitches. You got to be willing to go 0-2. Once you get comfortable, you kind of slow your feet down and you put yourself in a better position to stay on the ball.
Heading the count here, 2-1.
It was close there. He got the call.
When do you know a batter has a good eye? Can you tell yet with Kristen Stewart?
I mean, you're just watching him. He's got a lot going through his mind right now. Very few players come up there and just kill it. You know what I mean? You can tell he's thinking a lot. I've seen him adjust to breaking balls very well. He's heard the directive. He's just figured out. You know, he was kind of starry-eyed probably the first couple nights. His parents were there. The lights are bright. He's in Comerica. He ended the first game that he was in with strikeout.
Strikes out there, 2 down.
Curveball.
Tigers host the Minnesota Twins Monday through Wednesday, September 17th through the 19th. Enjoy great savings with a weekday value pack: 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 chips, and 4 sodas for as little as $20 per person. For tickets, go to tigers.com/value.
So he got on the curveball there. That's a pretty good curveball. And what is he going to do next time, right? I mean, he's going to see a lot of good. The pitching's just better. So just watch how he adjusts. I think he's going to be good.
Ron Gardenhire and Jim Leland both like him a lot. They think he's going to hit at this level. I remember Jim Leland and Dave Dombrowski telling me that they thought the same thing about this guy. Eventually, he's going to hit.
And
man, can he hit.
Maybe defense isn't Nicholas or Stewie's best position. But there's different ways to look at it. With Jim Leland had his way, you had your way, maybe I have my way, but it boils down to if a guy hits, you can accept more of an average hitter, right?
Yeah, if you're an average defender, if a guy hits, look, there's that old cliche. If you can hit, they'll find a place for you. And I think that's the case. And there's the young guys right there, Reyes and Lugo and Stewart and Goodrum and Jones.
At the end, he's got a cup bat. They cup the end out to make it lighter.
The 0-2 pitch. 1-2.
They tried to go up top. That's right at the top. Got a good call right there. 2 for 2 so far for Nicholas.
50 multi-hit games, as we mentioned before. J.D. Martinez with 56. Francisco Lindor with 55. The only players with more in the American League. To center field. Kipnis started in and then was able to recover. A fast fifth, the reliever Jonathan Edwards.
Tigers up 1-0. Goes deep. Solid contact. Indians threatening the bottom of the first, but Matt Boyd goes to work. Then Jacoby scores a doozy with the 2-out double. The Tigers lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the fifth.
Detroit's only hit with runners in scoring position from Jacoby Jones. Matthew Boyd has done the rest here in the fifth. It's Kipnis and Lindor and Brantley. Kipnis with 41 extra base hits, only 10 against lefties. To center field. Jones tracking it, calling off Stewart. A quick first out of the fifth.
Good job by Jacoby. Make no mistake right there. Put his arm out, kept calling it, got Stewie out of there, wanted to let him know. Kipnis makes the leadoff out. Thing about Matt Boyd, what I'm noticing, you can watch young pitchers pitch. When they get in trouble, they nibble, right?
Yeah.
You don't want the guy to make contact. Where Matt Boyd now has gotten to the place where he's confident, he believes in his stuff. Doesn't matter what the count is. If it's 3-1, he's going to throw that breaking ball off the body of a lefty. He's going to get it in there. It's just going Lindor 1-for-1 with the walk.
Always dangerous Lindor. Third in extra base hits. Number 2 in hits overall, total bases and doubles in the American League. This guy can flat out play. checked his swing. They called it a strike. It's 1-2.
Yeah, well, we just got done watching Correa. What people rate Lindor against Correa.
Yeah.
I think Lindor is having a better year than Correa.
No question.
He's definitely a better fielder right now. Correa, they said, has more upside, more power. Got more power, but Lindor's got 30 bombs.
Yeah. 34 to be exact. I like Lindor a lot. I mean, the shortstop position might be as strong as it's ever been in both leagues. When you think of the best or among the best, Francisco Lindor's name is one of the first you mentioned with the 2-2 pitch. Fouled it back.
600 at bats. 119 runs. 41 doubles, triple, 34 home runs, 85 RBI, 23 steals, caught 6 times.
Switch hitter, hits lefties at a 367 clip, punches that foul. Plus, as you mentioned, his glove separates him from many.
And the thing about players which they get measured by is runs created. He has the ability to create a run, because you're not always going to get the home run.
Making Boyd work here.
Fouling him off. This Boyd 10 swing and misses tonight.
Another foul ball. Boyd has a chance to become the first lefty to lead the Tigers in innings pitched since Mike Maroth in 2004. He has grown exponentially this year. And a battle with Lindor. The 9th pitch of the at-bat coming here. Popped it up. Ducey will take hold of it.
Little pop-up priority. You know, they shoot these out of about the 3rd day of practice. They have the pop-up priority drill, right? They got a pitching machine shooting this just like this up. It's always really easy. You get in a situation like this, you're in a game, it's windy out, you're running from a different place in your position, you don't know it's going to come up. And here we go. Who's got it? You don't want the pitcher to catch it. It looks like it's going to be a tough one for McCann. Watch Ducey. He takes charge late. His eyes were bouncing.
Why don't you want the pitcher to take it? What's the problem with a pitcher trying to make that catch?
There is data that suggests that's not the right move. Let's just leave it at that, okay? That would be like saying, do you want Gibson to catch it or Lemon?
But I've always wondered that, because pitchers are supposed to be able to field their position. They're supposed to be good athletes,
I got news
right?
for you. Standing, coming off that mound right there is not an easy play. When you come from a place that you have a better angle at it, you can track it. That ball goes up and it's not coming straight down. It's not just like dropping in a bucket. Didn't answer the question, Gibson or Lemon.
Chet Lemon. Is that the right answer?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to catch more. Look at Ducey. He's running. He's saying, I got it, I got it. Everybody gets out of the way. That's what you're supposed to do. You got to get in there. You can't be looking. You take it. Good job by Ducey right there.
Brantley to Castellanos, and the Indians have been held to just 1 hit through 5. Jones in the fourth. Tigers lead it 2-0. That's been part of the story. The other part of this story on this Friday night, Kirk Gibson, has been Matthew Boyd. He continues to dazzle, and he does so by getting out of some jams early in this game.
Second beauty game in a row, and when he gets in trouble, he's not nibbling. He's going right after the hitters. The hitters are not getting good swings on him. First inning he was in trouble. He got out of that, set the stage for the game, and he's picked up where he left off in his previous start.
Gibby and I are both hockey fans. They always say the most dangerous lead in hockey is a 2-0 lead. I always found that funny. I thought it was 1-0. Is this a dangerous situation for the Tigers, even though they're up 2-0?
Well, they're playing a good Cleveland team. They've got plenty of sock. They've got the pitching to shut the Tigers down. It would be nice to add some insurance runs for sure and take it out of that situation you were talking about.
Yeah, we'll show you some really impressive numbers by the Tigers bullpen if they have to go, if and when they have to go to the bullpen. But first, into the sixth, Victor Martinez, Jim Adduci, and James McCann. Victor Martinez with a line drive base hit just over the head of Francisco Lindor. Martinez turned around batting right-handed rather than left-handed. Tyler Olson, the third Indians pitcher tonight.
Looks like Tito's going to use the bullpen liberally tonight. 23 innings in 38 games, so he's coming in as almost a lefty specialist most of the time. You're looking, that's way less than an inning per appearance.
If there's a weakness to this Cleveland team, it has been their bullpen, and we'll show you the numbers here in a moment. It had not been in the past, but this year it's been a massive struggle.
They're ranking on the other end of where they used to rank, and Andrew Miller is one of the reasons. He's thrown a lot of innings, had a lot of good years. It's catching up to him.
Yeah, Cody Allen hasn't been very good either. Ducey breaks his bat.
Remember back in the day who swung a bat like that and some rubber balls came out of it, remember?
I do. Was it rubber balls?
Cubs. Was it
I was
Sosa?
going to say Sammy Sosa. Yeah,
Sammy Sosa.
There's the numbers we were referring to with Cleveland's bullpen.
25th this year.
It used to be so good.
And last year they were at top. But Cody Allen has struggled a little bit with his curveball, which was wipeout.
And as you mentioned, Andrew Miller, not effective, but not healthy either. He is an invaluable weapon when he's right. Curveball's in tight.
Check this out. Right in half almost. Again, they have that end and it's cupped. I got a sticky talk back button. Sorry, folks. It's about the 5th time tonight. Wake up. But if you look at the end of that bat, that one there is not cupped, is it?
Yeah, I believe it is.
They usually dig the end out, so it's lighter. The head is lighter.
That's the reason for it being cupped that way?
Yeah, they dig the end of the bat out, so it's less head.
Pop up in foul territory. Gomes has some room. One down. And Terry Francona wants to make another pitching change. Situation here.
Yeah, he's starting to get used to. He's got a lot of pitchers in that bullpen. He's got the September call-ups up. He's going to use him. He's looking for playoff roster.
We'll get a read on their new pitcher when we return to Cleveland after this. Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. By Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. And by Meridian Care, Medicare Advantage plans. Tigers trying to snap a 10-game losing streak in the city of Cleveland. They lead it 2-0. Terry Francona has gone to his third arm of the bullpen. Fourth pitcher on the night, it's Adam Simber.
Again, we talked last week, Shep, about components and makeup of the bullpen. We were talking about long guys. We were talking about left-handed specialists. And now we talked about the side armors that you can come in tough on righties. And there you got it. Simber drops down from the Laredo position. Tough on righties.
James McCann cues it into the Tigers dugout. Ron Gardenhire says, I'm done. That's enough for me. Look out. I'm going to the other side of the dugout.
Yeah. Woke him up. In case you would look at Mikey, he's laughing. December, May, he came over to trade from the Pods.
Yeah, July 19th with Brad Hand. And Hand has really been good for him.
Simber has not been so good.
ERA of a little more than 3 and 42 relief appearances for San Diego. But numbers have increased here in Cleveland. McCann 0 for 2.
Get a guy like this, if you're James, you got to force yourself not to leak when they drop down. That's what your tendency is to do. As I shake the monitor to get it to come back on.
Tougher to,
it likes abuse.
Is it tougher to pick up the release point with a pitcher like this?
No, it's harder.
Squeezed one through the right side. Victor Martinez will hold it second. James McCann has his first hit of the night. The Tigers, with one down, have runners at first and second. Part 1, Vince Young dazzled at the Rose Bowl. Part 2 was a double overtime thriller. Get ready for the trilogy. USC, Texas, tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Trojans ranked 17th in the country.
That'll leave it up to Jacoby. Does have a RBI double. Scored a deucey.
That was back in the fourth. He was left stranded in third. That's the lone hit with runners in scoring position for tonight. Detroit. This one back up the box could be 2. Ramirez with a quick turn, and Simber gets out of it. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Tigers nursing a 2-0 lead. Blake Swihart, which was dropped in shallow right as they held on to sweep the Blue Jays 4-3. That cut their magic number to 6.
Yeah, it should have been caught, but it wasn't. And Swihart was there to scoot in there.
New York is destined for the wild card. I think they've known that for a while. Looks like Oakland will be there too, unless Oakland can catch Houston in the West. We just saw the Astros, and that is a very good, a very deep team.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see him catching Houston. Houston's pretty stacked.
You've seen a lot of Cleveland. We just saw Houston. We know that Boston and New York and Oakland look like they're destined for postseason play. Which of those teams do you think have the strongest shot?
Right now, Houston and Boston, but it could change.
Ramirez sends one deep to left, but Kristen Stewart is drifting over. Makes his second out in left field. One down.
Boy, Stewie, he's getting comfortable out there. He's had a few fly balls tonight. I know the roving minor league instructor Gene Roof does not like the way he threw the ball in, though. He likes to see him get behind it and practice it. But you can tell he's much more comfortable. With that big wall behind him, he's probably never played at a place with the wall quite like that, and that really is not as easy to deal with.
They won't have to play it off the wall on this one. This is gone.
Tries to get it in there. Encarnacion is waiting. Say, I think this guy's a really smart hitter. He was looking in there, didn't bury it in there, didn't miss it.
Number 31 on the year. And the lead has been cut in half. Encarnacion now has 262 homers, Gibby, since 2012. That's most in the majors. Nelson Cruz is second.
90, was that 97 RBI now? Yep.
It's the dangers of this Cleveland lineup. Very little breathing room for a pitcher. 3-0 to Josh Donaldson.
This is what Matt Boyd's got to learn how to dig through right here. He's at 95 pitches. Usually goes around 100.
Donaldson goes deep. If it stays fair, we could be tied. And we are. First hit is an Indian.
I read one of the scouting reports on Josh Donaldson, and they talked about how he missed 3.5 months with, I think he had a shoulder or something, and they commented about how he is not swinging or playing well right now. It's a lot of time to miss, but you have veteran guys. I believe in them just like many other contending clubs do. 91 miles an hour, didn't get it quite in there. Seen enough of these guys go to school, and they know how to rise to the occasion when the time comes and it counts. That's why they got him. That Boyd's throwing a beauty, but he's now in a 2-2 tie.
Ron Gardenhire has decided to go to his bullpen. Impressive numbers by the Tigers bullpen. It was a decent night for Matthew Boyd, but 2 mistakes has us tied at 2.
Something on his mind, and he's doing a good job of containing, talking to his pitching coach right now. With a good game by Matt Boyd, and Ron Gardenhire is going to try and match the Indians. He's going to go into the bullpen. Matt, you've done your job. We've got a new pitcher.
Many hits the last 2 batters for the Indians is the last 14 1/3 innings. So Detroit goes to Drew Verhagen, his 36th appearance of the year.
Well, Drew coming in, throwing the ball very well right now, and just, you're a manager. You know, I've said that. What do you do if the first guy gets on? What do you do if the second guy gets on? A fly out by Ramirez, kind of a deep fly ball, had a good swing at him. A good swing by Encarnacion, and then another one by Donaldson. And Gardy made the decision to take him out because he's doing what his eyes are telling him. And it's sometimes hard when you pull a guy out of the game like that.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you look at swings as a manager. You don't always look at the results of those swings. Is that fair?
Well, I think if the results were different, he'd still be in the game. But it's a tie game. And here's the other thing. Gardy did not want Matt Boyd to get the loss. It's a tie game. There's nobody on base. He wants to see what his bullpen can do. This decision time for this organization. And all these things go into the thought process as you make these decisions. Now, you might upset Matt Boyd. They're going to talk, trust me, and it'll be a good conversation. And Matt Boyd is throwing the ball well. It's late into September, and he's going to come back next year and be a big part of this team.
96 pitches on the night for Matthew Boyd. Drew Verhagen delivers to Yandy Diaz. Diaz 0 for 1 with a walk in the 4th. Grounder to short. Sure-handed Cosmo. So one thing Ron Gardenhire was pleased about getting Pete Cosmo. He knows he's going to make outs at shortstop. He is a very sure-handed fielder. 2 down.
And frankly, Tigers have been struggling there since Iglesias has been out. So put it with a little different lineup on. Verhagen, good job of getting the ground or keep the ball on the ground. It will not go out of the park that way.
And a pinch hitter, Melky Cabrera, in for Brandon Geyer. Ground ball, or a line drive, I should say, right at Cosmo, and he makes the final 2 opportunities there in the 6th. But the Indians are on the board with back-to-back solo homers. Encarnacion and Donaldson tied at 2. Date back in 1968, the Tigers rallied in the 9th inning to beat the Oakland A's 5-4. Denny McClain became the first 30-game winner since Dizzy Dean in 1934. He would later win number 31 as well and win one in the World Series. What is going on here? Rick Anderson, pitching coach to your left. James McCann and Matthew Boyd are discussing the reason that Matthew Boyd was pulled. And he's not happy about it.
No, I think it's just a discussion about reading. I mean, I don't. There's a lot of things I could be talking about. It's a good thing nobody's made a scene. It's not a big deal. Matt wanted to stay in the game, and you know, James McCann. Here's the thing. Everybody probably feels responsible, right? And so you just talk things out, and you try and learn. Oh, that a boy.
Lugo squeezes one inside the bag, hits the first base bag hard, and hustles into a double to lead off the 7th for the Tigers.
Anyway, that's normal. Talk it out. Let's see what's going on. Somebody had something on their mind. You might have something. I might have something. Just talk it out. It's good and consistent. And in the meantime, we got a lead-off double. Well, Lugo, right down the line. He's upset. Look at him. He's a gamer.
3rd double of the night for the Tigers offense. Here's Pete Kozma, who struck out twice.
I think it's easy being a manager. You go out and pull Matt Boyd out tonight. That's not an easy card. He's sensitive to that. At the same time, you've got to do what you feel you've got to do.
There's a bunt. Well executed.
Throw it away.
Simmer throws it to first, and there's one down. Kozma does his job. There's your basic fundamentals.
Infield will be in for Jammer.
And Terry Francona, knowing that this game has changed drastically with the 2 homers in the bottom of the 6th, has decided to make yet another pitching change. We'll have the profile of the Indians' new hurler rather, when we come back after this.
To come right back for Matt Boyd, who have a better at bat. Last inning we had the same opportunity to do it. Here's his numbers: 29. He's been on the shelf 3 separate times this year. You know he's had success. His slider's not as good. His velo isn't as good. So you got to have a good at bat. You got to pick a ball that's up in the zone. The 6th inning, Jacoby came in, faced a side armor, broke his bat on the first pitch, and they get into a double play. So that we would say is not a great at bat, and again, this is a learning process. But Candy has to get some out over the plate that he can hammer. The infield is in. You got to get this run in.
8 holds in 29 games. Candelario goes deep to left. Already has homered once tonight. Make it 2. No, it's off the top of the wall. And he'll surround second base and then hustle back. I thought that was gone.
They get hit right off the top of the wall. I'm sure they'll take a look at it. But this is Jammer got a pitch up and out over the plate right down the middle. They put a good swing on it. Look at that, right down the middle of the plate. That's a great pitch. Out overhead, his arms extended, and did it go out?
Nope,
No, it did not. It's a double and an RBI, and the Tigers have the lead.
Another extra base hit for the Tigers tonight. Candelario has 2 of them, a homer and an RBI double. Good choice for Ram. Pick the stick. Here's Kristen Stewart. Boy, what a way for Detroit to bounce back.
Yeah, Stewie's trying to get him over, and just let me go back and say, like, I'm pointing out some fundamental things, that these messages are coming in the clubhouse as well, and that was a great at bat, and Jacoby busted his tail. I'm not saying there wasn't an effort, but at some point you've got to step up and have better at bats and get those guys in. And the second example was awesome.
Stewart in a 1-2 hole against Andrew Miller. Make it 2-2.
So Miller's going to try not. He's going to try and work that slider away from you. You saw Stewie's swing on the first one. Don't try and poke, Stewie.
Grounder is short. Lindor throws to third, and they get the lead runner. Mickey York's got a game break in the studio. Yeah, no doubt Terry Francona's club, a winning record every single year in Cleveland, 6 straight years. And there's the number Nicky was referring to. Magic number of 2. Here's Nicholas Castellanos. Goes the other way, foul. Well, you always talk about fundamentals. So we saw Pete Cosmo lay down a sacrifice bunt. We've seen guys run the bases pretty well for the most part. Jamer Candelario ran into an out at third. The ball in front of him at short. How much of a no-no is that?
Yeah, it's not the right play, but again, these guys are young and they need to make sure they understand. And I have a great relationship with Candy, and we'll probably joke about it sometime. You got to make sure you understand so you can make improvements. You know, I'm always sensitive about. I'm not being critical. I'm just pointing things out, because I remember how hard it was, and I made a lot of the same mistakes. But at some point, you've got to trust yourself and learn how to get the job done. And we've done a better job of it. We've had a better at bats this inning. We made another mistake, but these things again are going to be preached, and these guys will get it. And frankly, if you keep on not getting it, there's somebody below you that wants your job, and the guys that get it are going to be the guys that play if you're going to win a championship. I was under the same, had guys chasing guys' jobs, they were chasing mine, and someday, we were talking to Leland today, he called me and released me. You know, hey, somebody came and got my job. So it's not a threat or anything, it's just the way it works.
It's the reality.
And trust me, I love all these guys. Jacoby, awesome. Kid works his tail off. He was trying to do the right thing, and it didn't work out. It's not a lack of effort, because it's just the ability to be more patient. We were talking about that. Be more patient and get a good swing on a good pitch that you can hammer.
Castellanos has worked the count, 2-2. 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, and 1 here in the 7th for the Tigers. 3 hits, or 3 runs, 9 hits, and an error for Detroit. 2 runs, 3 hits for Cleveland. 2 of those 3 hits solo bombs. Encarnacion and Donaldson in back-to-back at-bats. Matthew Boyd 5 1/3 tonight. 96 pitches, 2 runs into 3 hits. Another really strong outing for the Tigers lefty. Castellanos a pair of singles. And now runners at first and second. He's on for the 3rd time tonight. Let's update Ram pick the stick. Gibby's running away with it, right? You would think so. Sure. 9.
Mickey always gets points. It's amazing.
Always?
He does. Well, he's got Casty. And Nick just got another point. Is that updated? I think that is correct.
Yeah, he has 3 points, 2 singles and a walk.
Well,
Victor Martinez with a chance to give me a few more points.
Yes, he does.
Just the one.
Watching Victor in the clubhouse today, sitting in the corner with a lot of the younger guys and guys that have been here for a couple years. I think he really enjoys.
I do too.
His role.
Yeah, he was talking with Nico Goodrum, showing him some pictures of his ranch and some other things.
He loves that ranch. He's proud of that ranch.
Yeah, he is. He should be. Meanwhile, you had a group of 4 playing cards. I wasn't able to pick up which game they were playing. Mikey Matuk was part of it. Jared Saltalamaki. Martinez goes the other way and fouls it.
Pinochle or bridge?
No, Grayson Greiner was involved in that too.
Pick one. Who would you pick? Pinochle or bridge?
Honestly, I don't know how to play either one. I'd rather play euchre. So give me euchre or hearts, and I'll play.
How about spades?
Sure.
Cribbage?
Not cribbage. Nope.
Why not?
Just never learned it.
Well, we'll teach you.
You know how to play euchre, right? I mean, you're a Michigander. Michiganders
know how to play all the ones I named. How about Pong?
Everybody knows how to play that. Back up the box and a base hit for Victor Martinez. A run will score. Nick Castellanos is going to stop at 3rd, and Victor Martinez has himself a 2-out double.
Got some points there. Victor's got a 2-bagger. Again, look at the pitches where they're at. That guy's hammer. Usually out over the plate, arms extended. Look right there. Stays on it. Into the left center field gap, and he's on his way. Attaboy, Victor.
Good stroke.
Commenting today about how you got a lot of damage in this ballpark. Said, yes, I do. He's got good memories here, and he adds to that tonight.
4 doubles for the Tigers tonight. Victor Martinez in his career against Cleveland now with 31 doubles. They will honor him tomorrow here at Progressive Field for his 3 All-Star performances as a member of the Cleveland Indians. I'm anxious to hear how he feels about that. He'll be honored tomorrow afternoon in the pregame ceremony. Signed in Cleveland as a free agent in '96. Mikey Matuk, the aforementioned, and is a pinch hitter for Jim Adducci. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Now 1-1 to Matuk. Talking with Ron Gardenhire before the game today about first baseman, who he really hasn't had a first baseman all year. John Hicks, Jim Adducci, Ronnie Rodriguez have all played there with the injury to Miguel Cabrera. None of them are natural first basemen. And then what do? You bring in Rodriguez. He thinks Jared Saltalamaki can play some first too. It'll be interesting the defensive move he makes after this Matuk at bat.
Put Ronnie in if he wants. He's been over there.
2-1 pitch, yank foul.
Let's take a look.
Took just 1 for his last 15. As Stewart and Cosma look on. Tigers back in front 4-2.
Well, here's one of those guys. I mean, Nick Castellanos someday maybe be able to come in there. He used to play third.
At first base?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of that, right? First baseman or original third baseman moving across the diamond to first base.
Yeah, if you get in the bind, I mean, Gardy's going for it. He's trying to, he's digging for those runs.
Foul ball.
Doing a lot of pinch hitting. Terry Francona kind of set the stage. He's made a lot of moves already this game. A lot of moves with his pitching, his bullpen. Gardy's game.
I would argue Nicholas Castellanos becomes more valuable as a first baseman than a right fielder.
He could. You know, he's still fairly young in his career. It won't hurt him to be able to play third, first, right field. I think he's really come a long way in right field, I will say.
He likes a lot of action, and he can get it down there at first base. Took way out in front again.
Hard foul ball there.
He's had a couple in this at bat.
Yeah, Salty could play down there, but then you got to leave it. I wonder if Griner, no. 8th pitch of the bat on its way.
And Miller wins the battle. But the Tigers get the 2 runs right back. We will stretch in Cleveland. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
Well, Lugo's doubled down into the left field corner. Candyman gets in the mix there. Off the wall scores Lugo, and then Vmart over the shortstop's head for a 2-bagger. Tigers scored 2, now lead 4-2. Pretty good at bats, and look who's coming in. Spencer Turnbull. This is his major league debut. In a pretty hot game in Cleveland. The ticker's going. That's a good feeling right there.
It's a good way to get in there, huh?
And he's got the stuff to do it. This season in the minors, 23 starts. He does have 4 pitches. Hopefully he can slow himself down and put him to work.
Ronnie Rodriguez takes over at first base after Mikey Montauk pinch hit for Jim Adduci. Turnbull will face Jan Gomes, Jason Kipnis, and Francisco Lindor. 133 strikeouts this year in the minors. Third most by a Tigers pitcher in the minor leagues. He starts with a fastball strike at 95.
Turnbull has good stuff. Watched him kind of come up through the minors. Has not been as consistent, but Tigers are going to give him a taste this year. Could be a guy of the future starting next year.
What does he do well?
Good fastball. He's got life on it. You see a little cut there at the end of that. Good slider, breaking ball, and a change. He's got a snapdragon for a curveball. I'm sure you'll see one here. He gets 2 strikes.
We thought we might see him and/or Matt Hall this weekend. Hall the lefty, Turnbull the righty. Holmes fouls it off, 1-2.
Now that curveball there, he got a little wide on it. Didn't have as good a bite as I've seen. You see Gomes, these guys, pretty good curveball hitters. You get into some veteran hitters. That's why he's in here. Got to learn to make the good pitch. 1-2 though. He's in the driver's seat.
Gomes is taking a long look at that foul ball that might have hit somebody down the right field line. That can unnerve a hitter for sure.
And nobody wants to do that.
Turnbull has his first strikeout as a major league.
96.
Time for the Bernstein advantage. And Kristen Stewart and Matt Hall, the minor league players of the year for the Tigers. Stewart, the 3rd straight year that's happened. Matt Hall led all Tiger minor leaguers with those good-looking numbers. Doesn't throw real hard.
Great curveball.
But he does have one of the best, if not the best, curveballs in the organization. Jason Kipnis and an 0 for 2 night. Make it 0 for 3.
But Turnbull didn't take long to get it over there. 25 years old, 6'3", 215. Went to Alabama, the Tide. That was a trivia question on our Pick the Stick yesterday. 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, a couple days ago. It was the schools without an S for their nicknames.
I came up with Tide first. I was scrambling though. You caught me off guard.
I did. I caught everybody off guard.
Came up with it, dug it out.
You're the only one to respond right. I think the guys in the studio said no.
Well, don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
Amen. I need it quite a bit.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, as I do. We all need help.
Lindor's been on base a couple of times.
Good sinker there, 96. A lot of life, a lot of late life. When you're a youngster right here, you have to refine. I don't know. Turnbull tips his pitches at all, but many of the youngsters that come up see him digging in his glove there. A lot of guys who have to deke as they tip him.
Lindor with a heavy swing there to foul it away. Lindor has 19 homers and 55 runs scored against AL Central Division teams.
Lindor way better against lefties, 358, 258 against righties. Throw something into the ground here.
3-1 team. The Indians have dominated the division, 42-21, but an under 500 record against everybody else. So that has to create some slight concern. 3-1 pitch, make it full. And 12-4 against the Tigers this season.
That last pitch cut. Previous pitch turned over.
Ground ball to second. A perfect frame in Spencer Turnbull's Major League Baseball debut. 4-2 Tigers. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Major League debut, very strong performance alongside Kirk Gibson. I'm Matt Shepard. What impressed you most about his poise on the mound in that first?
Well, he just had good stuff, but I thought Gardy and Rick Anderson did a good job. He put him in there against 8, 9, 1. It's not like he put him in 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Kind of gave him a. That's not a real soft landing, but just good timing. And you know, they didn't put him in right away. He's been here for what, 4 or 5 days, almost a week. Gave him a chance to throw some bullpen. Tonight they felt he was ready, but it's a pretty good Cleveland club and a pretty good environment, and he's had success. That's what you try and do as a manager, is put your players in a position to succeed, have a positive, and that's how you build their confidence, their trust in you, and then ultimately it makes you a better team.
Some might have found it a little surprising just because Detroit had reclaimed the lead 4-2. Why was it important in that type of situation?
Well, again, I think he felt that it was a good spot in the lineup, and he's watched him throw. This guy's watched films of these guys. You can go watch any minor league game on the server, every pitch. So it's not like he's never watched him pitch before. He felt that it was a good spot, and again, they've been working with him since he's been here the last 4 or 5 days, and it turned out very well.
New Cleveland pitcher, that's Neil Ramirez, signed as a free agent a year ago. He'll face James McCann, Jacoby Jones, and Noel Lugo.
Yep, isn't that fun?
Not afraid to admit there was some nerves there.
Yeah, well, it's a good feeling. Some might not think of that, but
how much did it help that he threw the first pitch for a strike?
Yeah, I mean, it worked out pretty good. You know, he struck out Gomes, felt pretty good, then got Kipnis early, so he's 2 batters in quick. That relation there, is it mom and dad?
That's his father, Jim. I wonder if he was as nervous as his son to start. If you're a batter to face a pitcher making his debut, am I out of bounds thinking that the first pitch is going to be a fastball more oftentimes than not?
No, you're not out of bounds. I mean, it's okay if you look fastball and you don't get it. You swing and miss at it. It's just 0-1. It's not a big deal.
Jacoby Jones couldn't hold it.
I mean, it's okay to swing like it's a fastball and miss. Nobody on base right here. Let her go. You don't want to adjust. Can went down, and here goes Jacoby. He's going to have a good at bat.
1-1 to him now. Jones with a key RBI double back in the fourth. That gave Detroit a 2-0 lead. Indians then would plate 2 of their own in the 6th before the Tigers punched right back with 2 more in the 7th. That's where we stand here in the 8th.
It's pretty good. Trying to think that I picked Jacoby up. What trade was that? But that was a good find. I remember Tramp saying something about him. Everybody weighed in. He's been a very good pickup for the Tigers. He's improved tremendously. His defense is off the charts. He can win you games in more ways than one. His bat is coming. He's got a good attitude. The staff has brought him along at a good pace. Ready for the next step.
2-2 to Jones. Remember, Jones was a shortstop for the most part, middle infielder, if you will, at LSU and in the Pittsburgh organization. He comes here, he's patrolling center field, and he's one of the best in the business. Slow roller to first. Diaz got to hurry. No, they're not going to get him.
Excellent.
Ramirez didn't get there in time, and that's getting it done out of the box from Jacoby Jones.
Yeah, he got out of the box very well. He runs good. And he beat him. Pitcher knew it. Did he not find the bag?
You want to throw that overhand there, or is the underhand soft serve warranted?
Well, the pitcher had to rush. He took a tough angle. I got Jacoby right around 4 seconds down there on the right-hander. That's pretty good time. Are they going to review it?
Crowd wants Terry Francona to do just that.
Well, he missed it because you saw the pitcher go back and try and touch it, right?
Jones, the Tigers' best base stealing threat as well.
He wants to go, you know that. And he's got a tough task against Gomes.
On base for the 2nd time tonight. And to Gibby's point, Yan Gomes, 2nd best at getting the ball to second base. There goes Jones from his knees, and Yan Gomes can't get him. Jacoby Jones with his 11th swipe of the year.
He threw that ball from his knees, and that is a heck of a tag. They're going to check this one out too.
Good jump, huh?
It's about a 175 from Gomes.
175 pop.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
They're going to.
There's the pop times we were referring to.
They're going to try it here. They got nothing to lose. I like Jacoby's aggressiveness, and he's just showing how he can create opportunities for you. Continues to develop.
So important for a baseball team to be able to do this, don't you think? I mean, you've got to win baseball games in different ways. You and I talk a lot about football games. You can't just throw the ball all the time. You got to be able to run it. Well, in baseball, you have to have guys who can put pressure on the defense, and this is one way of doing it.
You got to be able to add on here right now. I don't know if this is.
I'm a little surprised they're challenging this.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, I don't think they'll overturn it. Pretty close. Jacoby had a good jump. And he threw a seed down there, Yan Gomes. But you can't really tell if he's touching it yet.
I don't think there's enough there to overturn.
I think he might have got him, but I don't know if they're going to overturn it. A heck of a tag, I can tell you that.
Not a surprise, and Dewalt Lugo has a chance for an RBI here.
This is just another thing what Lindor does. Watch how quick this comes down. He's right over the bag. He's going to go straight down immediately. That's perfect position.
Ball almost popped right through his webbing.
He got good hands. Picked that and stuck it on him. Good job, Jacoby.
Tigers 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position tonight. RBI doubles by Jones, Candelario, and Victor Martinez.
I'm going to say he's going to throw something off speed here. That's what they do. Out over the plate. Get some good pitch. Peter.
Lemire is the 6th pitcher of the night for Cleveland.
Big run if they can pick it up.
No doubt.
No, I wouldn't think it would be smart to go to third. I think it would be really tough to make it, unless you could have a huge jump. You have to be way off, and you have to have a head start.
Almost a walking lead. That'll help. Gets by Gomes. Jones takes third, comes hard to home, and the throw is not in time. He never stopped.
No, I don't know. That was great. Did he touch the plate? He's totally surprised the pitcher. That is awesome. Excellent anticipation. Good turn. Reading the play. Cuts it nice. He did catch it.
What a slide.
Great slides. That is awesome. That's what you're looking for.
And how is it set up, Gibby? It's set up because of the stolen base. This is a way the Tigers hadn't won in who knows how long. Maybe since you played.
No,
guys. No, seriously.
But they've been big boppers, but Jacoby beats out, he hustles down, he beats that out, he steals, and then he scores from second. That's starting to understand your ability and using it for a huge run. 5-2 now, Tigers in the top of the 8th. Some good tools on display here for Detroit tonight.
Had that big home run the other day against Houston. Had that massive play in center field to cut down a runner at second. Should be smiling, having a blast. It's fun watching him, isn't it?
Oh yeah, love it. Love the anticipation, love the pressure. That's what we were talking about. Pressuring your opponent all the time. He doesn't block it, they make a mistake.
Remember, he got an infield hit, a stolen base, and then
scored on a pass ball.
A wild pitch in this case. Cosmo laid down a beautiful sacrifice last time up in the 7th.
So if you could visualize that play winning the World Series, that's what I'd be dreaming about. We got a ball on the field right here. Maybe you win the game in the playoffs that gets you to the World Series. Those are the plays that he's very excited about it. You can hear the fans, you can hear the crowd when you're running like that. Really energizes you and the team and the crowd.
Cosmo couldn't hold up. There's an old saying, speed kills. Well, Jacoby Jones manufactured a run for the Tigers in the 8th, all by himself.
You know your own power. Spencer Turnbull in his major league debut strikes out Yan Gomes, gets Kipnis down at the bottom, and then gets into the battle with Francisco Lindor. 3 up, 3 down. He's a little shaky, but he's smiling anyway. Good major league debut. Tigers have really played hard tonight and got a good thing going so far. They lead 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Well, if he was shaky, he sure didn't show it in the results in that 7th, did he? And now it's Joe Jimenez in the 8th. What did you say earlier in the game? You said get to the 8th. You work backwards if you're the manager. 9th is Shane Green. 8th is Joe Jimenez. You got to get someone through that 7th. Turnbull did just that. It was Drew Verhagen prior to him, and now it's Joe Jimenez making his 64th appearance.
Joe's been getting a little more rest lately, as he was a little bit tired and had a couple of rough outings, but stellar in his last one. And Greeny's waiting for the 9th, so that's a big run that Jacoby just scored.
All-star against all-star here. Jimenez and Brantley.
Brantley's a tough out.
For 3 tonight, though.
And if you're a Tiger fielder, you're looking for outs. You're down to 6 outs. Indians are down to 6 outs. They trail by 3 runs. Make sure you get an out on any play. That's #1 priority. Don't get into a big inning by trying to make a great play that you can't make.
Nice start to the 8th. Tigers host the Royals on Saturday, September 22nd at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans receive a 1968 themed Detroit Tigers Hawaiian shirt. It's courtesy of Visit Central Florida. For tickets, go to tigers.com. Jose Ramirez. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Was hit by a pitch back in the 1st. Ramirez batting .290 against the Central this year. 16 of his 38 homers have come against division foes.
Good off-speed pitch there. Looked like a changeup from Joe. You can see the shift, and the Tigers adjusting accordingly. Full 10 Williams, 2 strikes.
Hard to believe this guy had 8 homers in his first 180 games played. He has 38 this year. second most in a single season by a third baseman in Cleveland history. Yanked foul.
Take a look at Joe by month. See the ERA July and August, September, 3 outings, very good. That innings load, he was in many appearances early in the year. In fact, the Tigers were thinking about it. We referenced it. Got to watch it, young kid. Looks like he's getting a little bit of life back into that arm. Maris very quick inside on that fastball. 281 lefty, 280 righty. So he's very consistent. He's good with runners in scoring position. Base is empty right now.
Got him on the outside corner. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory.
Take a look. Ramirez takes this again. They hit him earlier in the game. Now it looks like he's looking in. He gets it away. Might have got a call there. I'm a firm believer of throwing the ball inside. I think it's a very impactful pitch, especially when you miss. Make guys cheat, get that bat head out, and opens the outside of the plate up.
Encarnacion belted his 31st homer of the year earlier. One out in the 6th. Hit it off Matthew Boyd.
Trying to get a nice down and away fastball here.
Through it, 2-1. As a staff, Boyd, Verhagen, Turnbull, and Jimenez. 10 strikeouts for the Tigers pitchers tonight as Dan Otero warms up for Cleveland. Two and two.
Oh, he back-legged him. See that?
Well, he went down to a knee.
Tried to back leg him. Good power, good spot away. And when he lets her go, boy.
To short. Sweet 8th for Jimenez. The Tigers go to the 9th, leading by 3. Dan Otero trying to at least keep his team within 3, making his 56th appearance out of that Cleveland pen.
Otero, like 80% fastballs. Not a hard thrower. Fastball, changeup, slider. More of a cutter.
Candelario with a fly ball to right center. Melky Cabrera puts it away. There's 1 pitch and 1 down. Hey folks, before you jump over to college football on Fox tomorrow, make sure to join us on Fox Sports Detroit for some afternoon baseball. Your Tigers Indians coverage begins with Tigers Live with Mickey York and Craig Monroe at 2 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
3 o'clock game?
3 o'clock game, right. Hard to believe, but the Tigers just 5-20 in this building since 2016. Only Safeco has been worse for it during that stretch.
Got to
1
give
and 10.
Indians some credit, though. I mean,
well, really good team.
Tigers have struggled, but you know, Tigers beat St. Louis too. They beat them in Detroit. It's just no guarantees. You got to play them out.
So 2 quick outs here in the 9th for Dan Otero. And Castellanos, who's been on base 3 times. Shane Green warming up for Ron Gardenhire's club. Trying to close it out in the 9th. We'll have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up. 5, 6, and 7. Bullpen has been really good for Detroit over the last 8 games. Deep of third, Donaldson. He's got Bose. Go to the 9th. Tigers will rely on their closer to snap a 10-game losing streak in this building.
And then anticipates a pass ball, and look at 29.5 feet per second, well over the league average of 27.3, with an awesome slide. And the tack on run puts the Tigers up 5-2. And we go to the bottom of the 9th with Shane Green trying to make this a happy night for Jacoby and the Tigers. They have not played well here. But here's another game summary for you. Jamer Candelario, 4th leadoff home run of the season. Matt Boyd came out of the inning a little early, didn't like it, but threw a beauty. Spencer Turnbull, 1-2-3 7th inning in his major league debut. Again, the Tigers up 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 9th for a wall side windows pitching change. It's Shane Green.
What does he need to do to be successful?
Needs to throw strikes. If Shane Green gets ahead in the count, he does well. When he's behind or even, he's giving it up.
Donaldson has 1 hit as a member of this franchise, and it came back in the 6th, a solo homer to tie it at 2 before the Tigers pushed 2 across in their half of the 7th, and then 1 in the last inning.
And when the bat ends with Shane Green ahead, they have 1 home run and 86 plate appearances.
Just 2 career saves against the Indians.
Donaldson didn't like that call. 1 for 3 with a dinger. You know, they were talking about how Donaldson's arm didn't look good. He threw that ball across the diamond pretty good there last inning.
Yeah, I thought it was great. A lot of controversy when the Indians claimed him. It's the Red Sox and Yankees thought there was some fishiness going on a little bit. You know, I mean, he was injured with Toronto, then came here and was put on the injured list.
I just like the low fastball down the way here. Don't be screwing around with the slider.
Back up the middle on a base hit to start the 9th for Josh Donaldson. Indians feel like they'll be in the postseason. Follow the race to the postseason on MLB.tv for $25.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this limited time offer.
We got a pinch runner over there, it looks like. Gonzalez.
We have both. Eric Gonzalez is the pinch runner. Yonder Alonso is on deck, or as I should say, now stepping into the box as the pinch hitter.
Yeah, I like Greeny's sinker better. I think veteran hitters, you get ahead of them, they're kind of looking out. They're shortening up for the breaking ball. I think when he's ahead, he can get more swings at marginal pitches.
Pop up down the left field line. That will reach the seats. There's the upcoming pitching matchup. It's presented by Wallside Windows. Michael Fulmer against Mike Clevinger. Clevinger is one of those guys who you would think would be in that rotation. 191 strikeouts. He's got good numbers.
11-8 for the Tribe. Michael Fulmer 3-11. Showing the ball better. Appears to be healthy. I'd like to see him work on his changeup for next year. I think when he was Rookie of the Year, that was a good pitch for him.
Slice to left. Stewart drifting back, looking, and it is off the wall.
Second.
Big base hit for Alonso in a pinch hitting situation. And the Tribe have runners at the corners with nobody down.
Scott up in the zone, over in the middle of the plate. Greeny's been struggling a little bit. Looks like Alonso could have run a little harder, and Stewie should have thrown this ball to second base. Guy on third base means nothing. You want to keep the double play in order. Tying runs at the plate.
How's he not hustle? How's he not get to second base on that? I think it was Homer.
Thought it was a homer. Yeah. Come on, Greeny, just get that ball down, get your double play, close it out.
Melky Cabrera represents the game-tying run. Alex Wilson quickly up to warm up. Cabrera better against lefties than righties. Bet 252 against right-handed pitchers. To center. Jones has room. Run will score. One key out in the 9th. told you earlier in the broadcast, Yan Gomes has some pop. 14 homers. Don't sleep on what he can do. 10 of those 14 homers against righties.
Big tack-on run by Jacoby. Tigers lead by 2.
Ground ball needed. Instead, it's fouled.
And again, runner at first base means nothing. You get the ball hit to you, make sure you get it out. The guy at home plate is the tying run, and the guy on deck is the go-ahead run. Get it out. They're down to their last 2 outs. Play the odds.
Saw the numbers. Gomes against Green. Green with the upper hand.
Last time Greeny gave that up in Comerica, he was beating himself up about that. And you know what? Anybody who cares, it's a very dangerous situation when those things happen. It happens too often. You get down on yourself, lose your confidence.
Ground ball through the right side. Alonso to third, and Jason Kipnis now due up.
It is good pitch. Looks like he tried to go through there. Tries making a game out of it. Come on, Greeny. You can do it. Make a good pitch. Kind of a seeing eye single there. Tigers using their trips to the plate. You have another little conference out there at home plate. We're going to go out and talk to him. And I would say if he doesn't get the next hitter, he may go get Willie.
Would you?
I don't know. That's not a fair question. I mean, I don't know all the dynamics of what's going on. But I see he's got Wilson up, so I'm just saying he's there. He may go get him. I'm not the manager anymore, right?
But it does show you what Ron Gardenhire is thinking about the importance of a game like this.
Yeah.
If you're willing to get somebody up warming while your closer is struggling, gives you that mindset, don't you think?
I agree, yeah. No, he doesn't want to do it. He's got him up for a reason. You get him up at some point. But he's also pulling for Greeny to get this double play ball. Get him out.
Kipnis 0 for 3.
That's Raji over there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Rajay Davis is on first base. Ronnie Rodriguez is holding him, and
he can steal for sure.
He sure can.
He's got a high success rate.
A high motor.
He's going to go. Hold it. Oh,
Stop by McCann.
Steals, caught 5 for Rajai. He's a specialist, another role player on this Cleveland playoff bound team.
He looks like he's going, doesn't he? Grounder to first. Rodriguez bobbled it, and a run will score, but there are 2 down.
And we deliver this message over and over again. Get your out, get your out. You can just see right here the young Ronnie Rodriguez. He wanted to get the double play. And he just rushed a little bit on the exchange, but then he smartly put it away and took us out. They didn't want this to happen. They didn't want to get up to the top of the order, but that's the way it is. You got to deal with it.
Yeah, he got exactly what he wanted. And now he faces a guy who's had very good success against him. So important to be able to turn that lineup over. Tying run at second. And remember, Lindor 34 homers.
Every player's got to be thinking, if the ball comes to me, what do I do? Knock it down if it's on the infield.
Bat goes further than the ball. 1-1.
So if you got a chance to dive on that infield and knock it down, you got to do it. You got to get up quick because Davis will be on his way.
And Lindor's got great speed as well.
But you can knock it down and stop him from scoring. You gain yourself another at bat to stop and try. We'll take a look, slow motion on the exchange. He flips it out of his glove. You really have to learn how to slow yourself down. I did. Everybody does. It seems like you're taking a long time, but you're really not because you're in such go mode. I would stay with the heater. Would not throw any breaking pitches for a strike unless it was speared backdoor low and away. Lindor, one of the best players that Tribe has. It's a good batter.
Two and one.
Rajai Davis also, I believe, one of the better guys at picking up signs. Veteran guy. See if he's looking in there.
Fly ball to right.
Squeeze it.
Tigers win it. The 10-game losing streak at Progressive Field is over. They win it by 1. Stay tuned. Tigers Live postgame from the Coliseum Studios coming up next.